Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read. Today I'm going to be doing the coffee book tag. So I know I've been doing a lot of tags lately, but that's because I'm trying to catch up on my tags list and I have quite a few of them. This one I was tagged by multiple people to do, so I figured I might as well get to this one since a lot of people want me to do it. So I was tagged by my friend M on Instagram and her handle is the Glittery Bookworm. And I was also tagged by Steph and her channel is Coffee Over Apples. I will put the links to the Instagram profile and Steph's YouTube channel in the description down below so you can check them out. So as you have probably gathered, this book tag is all about coffee and hot drinks and beverages. So I made myself a hot beverage right here in my Reading is Sexy mug, which I really enjoy. It's only hot chocolate, but one of the prompts are hot chocolate, so I was like, perfect, it fits. I would have made coffee, but I'm filming this in the evening, and I probably shouldn't have a lot more caffeine right now, because then I won't be able to sleep. So yeah. I also have lots of other videos planned coming up, like, for example, a birthday book haul, my usual TBRs and wrap-ups, and I have an author interview that's being scheduled, so I'm super pumped to do that. And I'm also like really close to 2,000 subscribers, so once I get there, I'll be doing like some sort of celebratory video for that. I'll probably do a reacting to your assumptions video again, because I put a poll on Twitter and that one, the vote's not done yet, but that one is like leading right now. So yeah, plus that was fun. Like I enjoyed doing that video the first time I did it, and I kind of want to see what else people assume about me. So yeah, it could be fun. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the tag. So the first one is Taking Your Coffee Black, and this is to name a series that is hard to get into, but has hardcore fans. So for this one, I chose the Wheel of Time series. This is only the first book in that series. Marcus has them all on the shelf behind me here. This is his series. It's a very dense fantasy series. I have not even attempted to pick this up because I know that it's very like hard to get into, and that's what Marcus says every time he like picks up one of these books, is that they're hard to get into, but once he gets into it, it's really, really good. So like maybe I will eventually get to these books. I'm not too hopeful on that front because like this is just a scary book. I'm sure it's fantastic, but it's just super intimidating. But this series has like hardcore fans. You can find pretty much stuff about Wheel of Time everywhere, and people like gush about this series all over the fantasy community, all over the Reddit threads, like it's everywhere. So I know for a fact that this has a really high following. Then we have Peppermint Mocha, and this is to name a book that gets more popular during the winter season. So naturally for this one, I chose A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This is a book that I try to read every Christmas. I haven't read it in the past, like 2 Christmases, but I try and get to it every year because it's just a Christmas classic and it's a great book to read during the winter season. There's also a book that I noticed is Let It Snow by John Green. That was more just popular in the last year because they did the Netflix adaptation, but that was another one that just like popped to my mind. And then also, not books, but like the Harry Potter movies, they're always on like TV where they play all the movies in a row, and I've caught myself watching them in multiple years. So yeah, I'll probably be watching them again this year when they're on TV. But yeah, so that's what I would choose. Drink break. Perfect. The next one is hot chocolate, which I just had a sip of. So this is to name one of your favorite children's books. So I chose a children's book series, and this is one that I read when I was younger. So this is the Island series. I don't know if any of you have heard of this. This was big with like the Scholastic book orders when I was in like grade school. And this is a series about a bunch of kids that get marooned on an island, and they have to try and survive and get off the island. I think there's like 4 or 5 of the kids. And the book covers are pretty cringy. Like this one's straight up just a picture of a kid's eyeballs. But one cool thing that I noticed is, hold on, I have to rearrange them here. If you hold them up, oh, I don't know if I can do this. They keep falling out of my hands. If you hold them up all together, oh, nope. There we go. If you hold them up together, the tops of the books all line up to like form the island that they are marooned on. I thought that was kind of fun as a kid, but yeah. So yeah, I really enjoyed this series as a kid. I probably wouldn't like it so much now, like, because the writing is very not like my age level, but I would suggest this series for the younger audience because I think they would really enjoy it. Then we have Double Shot of Espresso, and this is to name a book that has kept you on your toes from start to finish. I feel like this is a book that kept everybody on their toes from start to finish, and that would be Hunger Games. So like, I'm talking about the first one in this series right now. Actually, the second one was also pretty intense, but like, this was the first kind of book where you're following a main character that you have no idea what's going to happen to this main character. Like, they're just thrown into this pit and they have to fight to survive. And it is just go, go, go from the very first page. And I found myself like I read this book in a day. So I found myself not wanting to put it down. Like, I was just completely into the book and I read the whole thing. It was so good. This is definitely one of those books. Also, Battle Royale kind of has the same feel as well. Although I could pick up and put it down. But I feel like if I had not read books like The Hunger Games before I picked up Battle Royale, I would have pretty much tried to sit through and read the entire thing, which would have been very impressive because that book is like 600 and some pages. So yeah, but it's like the same kind of style. Any book that kind of has this premise that you're not knowing that's what you're getting into, and then you pick it up and you're like, oh wow, this is wild. Like, those books will keep you engrossed from start to finish. I also feel like there's a lot of thrillers out there that would do the same thing, but I haven't found, well, I did have one thriller called I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh, but Marcus's mom is borrowing it right now, so I can't show you the book, but I'll put it right here in a picture. This book also is like very intense, and I remember when I was reading it, I was just completely captured. Like, I did not want to put it down. It was awesome. So there's another one for you. Next up is Starbucks, and this is to name a book that you see everywhere. Well, I'll give you a hint. Also, it's kind of like a trend right now, but like, I'll give you a hint. Pomegranate. What do you think it is? You got it. Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. This book is literally everywhere. Like, you go on Twitter, everywhere. You go on any other social media, everywhere. You go to the bookstore, it's now everywhere. So I feel like I can't like escape this book. It's just all over the place. So yeah, that would be the Starbucks of the book world right now. Then we have the Hippie Coffee Shop, and this is to name an indie book and give that indie author a shout out. So I got this book very early on in my blogging career, I guess you could say, my blogging hobby, but this is called The Mark of Wu by Stephen Gray. This book is about two different dynasties that are kind of at war with each other, and it follows characters that are trying to escape those dynasties, but they kind of have to like go through the war and like the different battle lines to escape. There's lots of different intense battle scenes in this book, and it gave me like Mulan vibes in the sense of like the final battle in Mulan. That's where I was kind of like picturing a lot of stuff that was happening in this book, and it was described very similarly to like the ending of Mulan when they're having that battle. I read it like 4 years ago, so it's hard to remember everything that happened in this book, but I do remember like being really pulled into it, and it's split up in different parts and it follows different characters of the dynasty in each part. So I found that really interesting. There were characters that I was rooting for like right off the bat, and then there were characters that I grew to like over time. It was just, overall, it was like a very interesting book. And so yeah, I just wanted to give this indie author a shout out. I have a lot of indie authors that like I know of that I could give a shout out, but I feel like I've talked about a lot of their books in other videos, so I wanted to do a different one this time. Then we have the worst of all, and this is Oops, I Accidentally Got Decaf. So this is a book that you expected more from. I never drink decaf because I need that caffeine. So for this, I chose the Steel Crow Saga by Paul Kruger. It's not a bad book in any means. I personally expected a lot more from it because I read his other book, Last Call at the Nightshade Lounge, and I really, really enjoyed that book and gave 5 stars. So going into this book, I was thinking, oh, it's going to be like similar to that. I'm going to have a great time with it. And then I jumped into the book and it was good. There was a lot that it was like all condensed into one. And I feel like if this was made into a series rather than a standalone, that it would have been better because he would have been able to explore more of the world and give you like more of an intro, like first book rather than try and cram it all into one. And yeah, that's just like how I felt about it. The concept of it was really cool because it is kind of like Avatar mixed with Pokemon, where people have like these sidekicks, I want to say. They're like sidekicks similar to Pokemon that aid the main characters in their different storylines. And it is split into multiple perspectives, so you do get a variety of characters to get introduced to. That was another thing, is like you're getting introduced to a whole bunch of characters, and I feel like half the book is all like set up, whereas you're halfway through the book and it's still setting it up for a standalone book to then like have their last half just pace so like odd. I don't know. The pacing just, it felt weird for me. So yeah, this one was a decaf book. Although I feel like I could have used some caffeine to get through it. Then we have The Perfect Blend. And this is named a book or series that is bitter and sweet, but was overall satisfying. So I chose the Eye of Mine series by James Dashner. He's also the guy that wrote the Maze Runner series. This one was kind of like a similar setup, except it's about it's like a lot to do with virtual reality, and it's got very similar vibes to like Ready Player One, and pretty much any other reality or virtual reality game. But it's like a trio of main characters that are thrown into this virtual reality game, and they find out that the people that are running the game are very not great people, and so they're kind of like fighting against the developers of the game to like help save the world, because there's some things happening in the background that are not great, and so these characters discover those things and have to try and help. That's kind of what this book is about. There were characters that you really enjoyed, there were characters that you really hated, but like overall I was very satisfied with this series. It is a young adult series, so I feel like the Maze Runner series was a little bit more like better written than this, but like that was just because it was more like dystopian style, which I was really into at the time. But this series was great because I'm very like into technology, and so the virtual reality part of it really pulled me in. It's definitely worth a read. This is the first book in the series. There's 2 other ones, and yeah, you can check it out if you want. And lastly, do you have a go-to coffee order? Yes, I do. My go-to coffee order is actually a medium iced coffee. I prefer like cold drinks over hot drinks, but yeah, that iced coffee gets me going in the morning. It's perfect. And I prefer the one from Tim Hortons, which all of you people that are not Canadian, that is like our local like coffee and donut store. Although they have like other foods now too. They have a really good grilled cheese actually. But yeah, and maple dip donut. Oh my God, maple dip donut. That's a very Canadian thing, but like it's delicious. And that's it for the coffee book tag. I think it was perfect for me because I drink a lot of coffee. So yeah, I was down for this one. I suppose I'm supposed to tag some people in this, so I guess I'm going to tag Hillary from Melted Books, because we just have this thing going on where we constantly give each other tags back and forth, so why not? I will also tag, I don't know if she does tags that often, but I'll tag Kayla from Crack Into a Good Book, and we'll see if she does the tag. Also, guys, like I say at every video, like no pressure, you don't have to do these tags. I'm just tagging somebody, but yeah. By all means, do what you will with it. And that's the end of my video. If you want to help support me, I have a Patreon and a Ko-fi page, which I'll put in the description down below. I am also getting close to 2,000 subscribers, so if you want to subscribe and help me out, that'd be awesome. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you know exactly when I post videos. I post my videos on Mondays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.